to the Coaching Corner Friday happy hour.
Oh, it's Fun Friday here in the Coaching Collective.
Okay, it's Fun Friday. That actually should be what we are. Fun Friday. Rather than happy hour, then we can have playful activities.
Where you
So what did you do that was fun today, Tiffany?
Oh my goodness. I did aerial, like it's like a tripod. I'm going to post it tonight or maybe tomorrow.
Of course you did.
It was amazing. Over the view of Ventana, looking over Big Sur was quite spectacular. And then I had to make a custom garden Bloody Mary mix for a private client coming onto the property. So that was really fun.
Yeah. Nice. Wait, okay. So when you say this aerial thing, what is this? What are you speaking of?
Yes, I have the same question. What?
You know, it's where you go up in the sky and you flip back and you know.
So like something hanging from something that you're like a silks thing or okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So in my new house I'm building right now, I'm going to have 24-foot ceilings. I'm going to have silks hanging in my living room.
Okay. So I'm going to send you some information because I spoke to this lady and $3,000, this incredible setup. She said that she has to be very order. So it's called Circus something. She's going to send me the link tonight and I'll send it to you.
Oh my gosh. Cool. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that you were doing that today. That is so amazing. Every day you do something really fun.
You do. And I want to do that. Like I want to swing from something and from silks or something.
I do something fun every day. You
totally do. Yeah, something very out of the mass ordinary for sure.
For sure. And that was something myself. I vowed to myself to always, anytime an opportunity came up that was unique and that gave me an opportunity to grow, I just always knew, don't you ever walk away from it because it'll always lead to something. So
true. It is so true.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you have that feeling like that sounds a little scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm sure I would do an aerial thing. Like, I don't know. That sounds like pole dancing. Like you have to be super strong to do it. And I don't feel strong right now at all. Yeah, I feel like I can. I mean, my fun today, I was at the computer. I've been writing all day, which is really, and then I bounce for a few minutes on my little bouncy thing. But the most fun I had was going outside and running around the park once and then going to the gym and just to feel better. It's really, really hard to sit so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
But moving the body at all feels, I mean, if that's the best you can do, it's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure. So we were going to do something different tonight. We were going to draw from this, what is it, a deck of cards, Michelle?
Yeah, this guy is so cool. He passed a couple of years ago, which was terrible and sad. But he wrote a book. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember the exact name of the book. I think it's called something like Better Conversations or something like that. But I'm going to pull these cards. And I was going to ask you what you did that was fun, though, first.
Oh, what I did? So honestly, the funnest thing I did today was I had a conversation with one of our coaches from the Coaching Collective, Leslie Serdar, and we had a really fun conversation on Facebook Live that, you can check that out on my page. But that was the funnest thing today. So my day was a little bit, I don't know, kind of, it wasn't very exciting up until then. I'll put it that way.
Life, right?
Yes. Yeah, life, work. But you do have occasional viral TikTok videos. That's pretty fun with your farm animals. Okay, I'm going to draw these cards, you guys, and read them. And just randomly, I'm going to like scroll through and see what comes up. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. But while you're doing that, Michelle, Bethany, why don't you tell our audience about your TikTok account?
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. Well, we have a farm sanctuary. We started a farm animal sanctuary a couple of years ago, and my daughter was like, "Hey, I want to take over the TikTok page and make it go viral." And I'm like, "Sure, that sounds fantastic." And no joke, 2 days later, we had 2 videos go viral, and now we've got a nice big following on there, and hopefully we'll be able to raise some more money for the animals. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's called Salty Sea Farm on TikTok, and there's some pretty funny videos on there.
Oh, so good. I'm telling you, every time I watch one of your videos, it's like a natural antidote. Like I just brings pure joy.
Yeah,
and
it'll make you laugh.
And to think that I know that you're on the other end dealing with it is even funnier.
That's even right. That's way funnier because we know like what's happening on the other side. Very cool. Well, this idea of asking questions, I thought would be a really good idea because as the coaching collective, and we all know that coaching is about asking really good questions. And sometimes it's fun to just ask random questions. So that is what we're going to do with these cards. And Tiffany, you're going first.
Sure.
So I'm just scroll and see where it lands. And it is, this is a good one for you. What is the strangest food you have ever tried?
Oh, really? That's it? God, I don't know. I don't even know what it was.
Well, you've had a lot of weird food, like you had a catering company. So
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was weird food, but you've had exposure to food.
I think you need to ask me another question. Like that's, I don't know. I've done quite a bit of traveling, but I typically stay away from anything that's too weird. I'm pretty courageous elsewhere, but food I'm like a little particular about.
Okay. What is one of your favorite topics of conversation?
Ooh, this is a good one. I love talking about beings.
About what?
I'm talking about different beings in our solar system. It's one of my favorite topics of conversation. Energy forces, matter, space, how, you think about space and really it was helium and hydrogen and hydrogen and helium. And it didn't have enough ingredients to form life. But this is the cool part. Listen to me here if you're all listening to this. Once these atoms started creating life, it was pulled by a gravitational force. So whatever you feel like is pulling you, you should listen to that because that matters. That creates matter in space. Now, if you think about the language of space, it's the same language of manifestation. And I love conversations like that. Anything that's a monster that makes you have to really think about, except sometimes it's so simple, but we just can't get our fingers around it because we've been conditioned to learn a language. And just the power of words, even though I kind of feel like I'm like not the best at them, but just the energy that's behind them.
They say that our words, you spell words and that you're casting a spell with everything you speak or write out.
Absolutely.
Like you were talking, it made me think like, you talked about going into like manifestation. Is that the word that you use?
Yeah.
So when you're speaking of like space and matter and time and all the things, how do you connect that in with manifestation?
Well, what's so interesting about that is that space, there's longitude, which is by time, and then there's latitude, which is really like no time. And when you think of space is silent, and there's only 4% that is exposed, and the rest is called dark magic, dark matter, right?
Yeah.
Everything manifested in those areas. And it's with silence within ourselves that we can really sit there in silence in those moments of darkness, just because we can't see it, and harness our energy and create thought and generate that gravitational force that's going to bring it into manifestation, whether you think it's crazy or not. So perfect, like the whole dog sledding thing. We were having that conversation last Friday, ladies, last Friday. Sunday, it was presented to me. How was that? I sat in silence with it. I moved the energy around it. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I could see I'd already done it. I already saw it. And I wanted it to come fast. I wanted it to come faster. So I sat there and I just intensified the energy. I created the more gravitational pull, the more friction. Something had to combust. Something had to come forward. And I realized then this is something I haven't always practiced. And it was a great wake-up call for me. Like, this is actually what I'm really supposed to be doing every single day, living so intentionally to where I'm being an active participant in every action of my day.
Yeah. I love that. It's such a great reminder too, to actually like be in like the vision and the feeling of it already happening. Like you were saying, you're like, I already knew I was doing that dog sledding thing. I knew it. You know,
I felt the cold air.
Yeah.
Like, I already saw the moon. I already knew what it felt like to be there. I could already hear the dogs. I could already see the situations that came up. I've already lived it almost.
Yeah.
Like, history repeating itself in a form. But with that being said, it's like, it's hard to go to those places. And what brought me to that place actually was not only my girlfriend that came over on Sunday, who presented me with this incredible opportunity, but she's really strong about manifestation. Like, things have just come to her on a silver platter, but they didn't just come to her. She pulled them in. She was the universe, the planet with the gravitational pull.
Yeah.
And so it was a good reminder that it takes practice, and it takes sometimes, like my good friend, to constantly surround myself, which I almost want to call her like a coach, because she puts me back into that container, in that space, and reminds me of the powers that come forward when you do the work.
Right. And also it makes me think of, when things are not going your way and you're really frustrated and you're feeling stuck, that those feelings are the very thing that are trying to remind you what to actually look at and focus on. They're like, no, this isn't it. This is not the thing to focus on. The lack, how's it going to happen? Like all the things. It's supposed to be like, oh, wait a second. It's done. It's literally already done. I don't even have to figure it out. Like, the answers are going to come to me when it's time. And, the people and the scenarios and the whatever, but I just have to remember that I'm in this place of like feeling stuck because I need to be, feeling something else. Like, I need to like move through that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you said it beautifully, like those feelings that come up that you don't want to be feeling. It's actually such a gift. It's like coming to you on a silver platter and saying, like, everything that's platter, that's exactly what you're not supposed to be doing. So put those aside, take control, and decide what you're gonna put on your platter.
Yes,
because
you have the power.
Yeah, it's like cleaning the slate. So, but it's always easier said than done. It takes a lot of accountability. It takes someone to have a lot of self-value in themselves.
It does. And I've noticed for myself too, like sometimes if I'm like that, like I'll be in a funk and I'm like, it's almost like I don't want to get out of the funk. Like I want to, but like it's so strong and I'm so used to that particular feeling or that particular program, we'll call it, that it's like I don't even want to get out of it sometimes, and it makes it extra hard to move through that.
Absolutely. It's so true. It's really thick, which is why it's so important. Like, I'm so thankful for you and Michelle, because you pulled me out of it. Like,
likewise,
I had a really busy day today. I could have just gone home and like take a nap. I'm packing, we're leaving town to go to Joshua Tree, and I have so many things to go on, but you guys, you regroup me. You remind me why I'm doing what I'm doing. You remind me of, of my abilities and how powerful we are as a team together. And I was thinking back about our experience today at the company we used to work for. We took a vow to each other that we're going to take a stand for every other person that goes into the coaching field, that we're going to present them to get good results and have a good experience. and to succeed, because we know everyone's capable of doing that when they have the right resources. And we knew us three coaches we don't have all the answers. No one has all the answers. So what we did is we did absolutely our best to bring a collective together from every little aspect. So you get to come in and have this opportunity to take a look around and see what's available for you. And it's all free. And that was coming from our heart of hearts, from our own pain points. Yeah. And I wanted to speak that because it's really important that everyone who's listening here, is that Michelle, Bethany, and I are here out of passion, out of an experience that we never want you to have to live through. So if there's one thing you learn from your mentors, is you learn from them so you don't have to make the same mistakes that they did. And I'm just going to end it on that.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Beautifully said, Tiffany. Thank you.
Yeah.
Where's our little
What?
I was like, okay.
Bethany, you have to leave in 10 minutes. So I'm not gonna respond to Tiffany, but that's a long ongoing Sedona conversation. You guys will have to come to the retreat, hear us just elaborate on that with our bodies, minds, and hearts. Okay, I'm just like doing a scroll and seeing, hold on, I can't see it. Okay, Bethany, what is something that amazes you? Besides
what?
Besides all of us.
Of course, you guys. I think like something that amazes me is, how the world is awakening on a collective level so huge right now. Like I think about my journey of starting to wake up, and I don't even know if I consider myself fully woke or whatever the term is, right? But just kind of realizing that like there was so much more than what I'd been told my entire life. And from that point to this point, to realize like, holy cow, our entire world is just shifting and opening up. And it seems like there's a lot of bad happening, but ultimately it's like, I really feel like actually for the ultimate good, like the greatest, most amazing things are happening in the world right now. And that really is what is amazing me, right? Like we've been calling it the new paradigm, and there's like, you call like new earth, or, there's lots of different terminologies for it. But yeah, I would say that would be the thing that amazes me a lot in a very good way.
Mm-hmm. And with that wake up call, I think a lot of us realize, like, as all being individual coaches, that we all have something to offer, and we're all learning from each other, because guess what? The best coaches have coaches.
Exactly.
And if you're a coach, you might be a little concerned about that because,
Exactly. And the days of what we would call the lone wolf are over. We're not supposed to be doing things alone necessarily. It's like, that was kind of before there was enough people who were really open and seeing things. And now it's like, nope, it's time to come together as a collective in so many different ways and work together. And those of us who've been, seeking our tribes for this, right? It's like, we're here. Like your tribe is here. If you haven't found it yet, it's coming, and just keep staying open to it and not discouraged, right? And come join things like the coaching collective, because you never know who you're going to meet.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Incredible.
Yeah. I mean, because I feel like it's through the coaching journey for me that I have felt, or I have met most of, I would say, the people in my tribe that I really resonate with, and that I feel like I, came here to experience earth life with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty awesome.
It's great.
It is great. Collective collaboration.
Yeah.
Coaching collective is almost like the Northern Star. Like, we're not going anywhere. Like, we're always going to be there, always in the sky, always that bright light shining. Every time you get lost, it's still there. It's just a matter of you coming forth, jumping in, seeing what it's all about, navigating what's inside the coaching collective, and seeing what's available for you. And the best part about it is that all you're doing is taking your own precious time, energy to expand yourself and what feels right for you, and to like Michelle brought this new, this new gift into our lives about drawing this card, asking better questions. What an opportunity for you to ask better questions. We, in our interview series, ask really good questions. We ask really hard questions. So you know exactly what you're getting into before ever moving forward to any other program that you might be drawn to. And not to mention the free 30-minute calls with all of us. Because you're not, you got to try. They're lifting me up.
Exactly. And to be able to trust yourself and know that you're not going to make the wrong decision for yourself, because I think a lot of times for us, we've made choices where they didn't turn out, or we, hired a person that didn't quite work out. And so then we question ourselves and our choices. And it's like, no. You are here to trust yourself, to really learn what that looks like, and to open up to having that for, every situation in your life. And I feel like we bring so many different personalities and coaching types to the table that, it's a good way to kind of even practice before, for example, let's say you sign up for the Coaching Collective Summit and you see that you've got an interview coming in that day. So fill into it and be like, I wonder what can I know about this person before I watch this interview, and really be open to what your intuition tells you, to what you already know, and trust yourself with it. And then go listen to that interview and see how it matches up with what you already knew about them.
Mm-hmm. But it's also, so I would just kind of go back on that. It's always like that old saying, you can't judge a book by its cover.
Mm-hmm. That's true too. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think questions you can ask yourself these questions. That's, I think, the thing that I've learned the most from coaching and being coached is really learning how to ask powerful questions, and then asking ourselves those questions, but learning how to release so that we're not up against just conditioning. But you really know how to connect to what Tiffany was talking about. You really know how to connect to the collective, or the God consciousness, or whatever you want to speak, whatever word you want to put on that, spell on that. You can really learn how to navigate those different levels of consciousness to get information. And that's a big part of being coached, is just learning how to listen to yourself in a different way too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's so many layers, Okay, guys, I'm going to scroll through and get my question before Bethany has to leave. And it is a green question. Whoops. What is the, sorry, I went by, most beautiful sound in the world?
Oh, that's tough.
I gotta say laughter. Laughter is my most beautiful sound, because it's play.
Yes.
And laughter is like a reset of energy. It's a release. It's connecting beyond the brain, the analytical mind. That's how I think of it. It's like it reconnects you right away to possibility and joy. And yeah, although I do like the sound of rain and the sound of sun. Silence. No, but I think laughter's the best.
I love that you said the laughter. You know what it reminds me of? I think of that Disney movie Monsters, Inc., where they were using fear to create the power or whatever, right? And then they realized by the end of it that it was actually laughter that created way more power than the fear ever did. And it's that's such a beautiful.
I believe you are saying that. I was working on edits to my book today, and I put an example from exactly that movie in there.
I'm just tapping.
I love Monsters Inc. It's so great. And yeah, Everybody go watch that tonight if you don't have a hot date.
Hey, as all being here as sisters, as women, like Michelle, I'm just going to put you in the hot seat. You have got this incredible book that you've been wanting, that you've already written, and you're ready to put it out into the world. And it's a spectacular book. And we're all here rooting you on, wanting to support you in any way we can. Like, I'm waiting for a pre-order.
Yeah, I'm about ready to do it. I decided to go back in and add, because I actually read through it and a few weeks ago, and I had promised in the introduction that I would have clips of all these women that I interviewed as examples. So I had to go back in and strategically choose how to do that, and that kind of reformatted everything. And it is really something to actually, and I have another one too that I really want to release for the holidays. So yeah, it's such a big flippin' undertaking. It really is, even though it's not like a novel or anything. It's just a lot of work. But yeah, thanks.
Let's talk about that. What's the biggest undertaking here? Like, what has been your biggest challenge with that?
Well, I don't know if it's a challenge. Maybe it's a challenge. It's, how every challenge just forces you to become clear on your intention. And I know what good writing is, and that this is not like good writing in terms of like literature. And I mean, I'm a big fan of good writing. And so it's been difficult for me to just stay focused on my intention and the communication, and not worry so much about, like, it's not like I'm writing a masterpiece. And the other challenge is just not being another, like, regurgitating the same information again, because we don't need more information. So it's just like navigating that, like how much regurgitation do I share just for clarity, and then a lot of resources, and then sharing what's important to me to get across, and making it really valuable for the reader, and being clear on the audience. Like, it's so much about just clarity.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the world needs my story, right? What they need is to be facilitated in moving through their own. So I just go back and I'm like, okay, I got to clarify this. It's the story of being clear to deliver the highest value.
And I imagine whoever, is drawn to your book is going to be able to hear the messages from you that they were meant to hear. Like, you will be the mouthpiece, so to speak, that they will actually be able to hear it from, which is why you're being so drawn to doing this.
Yeah, well, it's
brave.
I mean,
it's very brave. It's very brave.
Oh, and it doesn't feel like bravery to me. It just feels like I started writing this in 2017, and it's something I have tried not to do, because I know that the world doesn't really need just another book, but I have to do it. And I have to do it now. When you just get to a point where there's something that you're like, shit, I've been trying to avoid this. I've been trying to do everything else and say, when we all do this in different areas, like, I'll do that when, I'll do that when, I'll do that, and now it is really weird, because it doesn't seem like the time to complete it from a practical standpoint, but it must be done. And sometimes it's something in you that you can't get to the next place in your life until you do that thing, whatever that thing is for you that you've been avoiding.
True.
I knew I would eventually do it, but I just kept thinking I'll do it after I have other things going, and I'll just go, you know, how we all think I'll just go off to a cabin for 3 weeks or Cancun or something and finish it up. It's not like that. But anyway, thanks, Tiffany.
Well, you know, it's I hear your book, like it's going to be out. It's going to be out very soon. And just a matter of breaking through that barrier, because it's so true. There's some things that come are presented to your life. There's these callings in your life. They're so undeniable. And the more you deny them, the more it eats at your soul. And it's time we stop denying them and just fall into them.
Yeah, and everything you want to do worthwhile, it's a lot of work, you know, like you don't realize the responsibility of anything you do until you really step into it fully. And then when a copy editor gets a hold of your writing, it's like, oh, holy shit. Okay. You know, it's like it's the organization of the book. It's not the content itself, because I can write all day long, but then you have to structure and organize, and I don't know, it's just a thing. It's like going to the gym. Like you got to do the stuff.
Gosh, it's so because if I wrote a book, I'd probably just speak into like an app and send it to a writer and be like, all right, that's cool. It is what it is.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, and that's perfectly fine. There's all different types, you know. A lot of people just do. It's like so many people say you got to have a book is like a brochure, and there's truth in that. But I really just want this. It's like a combination of exercises and workbook, and you'll see.
I'm excited.
Yes, I will, because I'm going to have it on my coffee table real soon.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
It'll be ready by the, I know you got to go. It'll be ready by the retreat for sure.
Let us know in the pre-order so we can support you.
Absolutely.
That I'll be asking for your support.
If you have a dying, burning urge to write a book, reach out to Michelle. She's clearly
Please don't reach out to me for the book design. No, I'll help you. I actually have a client that's a very quite renowned editor, actually, but I don't use my clients for my own editing. So boundaries.
Yeah, it's so true.
That book. Everyone should go read that book.
Because I got a phone call today from someone I mentioned before we hopped on this phone call today, and she was trying to introduce me to another person. And they, you know, a new CRM system that has like a Kajabi portal, everything in all place, right? And it's always interesting. You're like, oh, it sounds like a dream. But to jump over into, if anyone who has a business and has a CRM understands all that stuff, it's really sensitive information. You've created rich relationships with the people you work with. And to trust into someone else's hands it's tough. Do you ever come across that?
Oh no, I think you're the only one ever. Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, and that's the thing too in business, like there's always something that looks like it's going to solve every problem, you know, and it can pull it's the shiny object thing, right? So I think different levels for different problems, and yeah, it's all about relationships.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, thanks, you guys. It's been really fun. I'm glad we got to ask some questions that we normally wouldn't have asked. So
yeah, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I love that my neighbor can see me when he walks his dog, and he always waves to me. It's like, okay, I love you all. Happy, fun. So this is officially now Fun Friday, the Coaching Collective. And we're all about fun.
If I want to end on one note, which is so funny, I have no idea what's coming out of my mouth right now, and I probably should, but it's really coming from my heart.
Okay. Sounds fun.
Yeah, no, I prefer to speak from my heart because sometimes my mind doesn't make sense, but don't forget how precious life is. it's so precious, and your time is so valuable, and to really take every moment and to surround yourself with people you love and care about, and people who want to see the best in you and really want to rise you up to your potential and support you in any way, whatever that may look like. And have fun. Have lots of fun in this life, because we were here to have fun and be joyous, and don't let anyone steal that joy from you. And that's all I wanted to say. So have a amazing weekend, everyone. Sending you all so much love. And I look forward to seeing you on next Friday at Play Your Way Friday Fun, whatever it may be.
Love you guys.
Love you too. Have a great weekend, you guys.